Hey everybody, Melinda Chapman with United Financial Freedom and Daniels Real Estate. I am your faith over fear realtor, your full concierge realtor, and I'm the only realtor that can not only get you in a new home, but I can show you how to pay off that mortgage and any other debt in a fraction of the time. And that's why I'm coming to you today because there's been some really exciting things happen with some clients lately, and I wanted to share this with you. So if you know anything about me and my husband, we were introduced to this amazing company and the Money Max account about 4 years ago. We had our complimentary analysis done. It took our 11-year mortgage, about 120 some thousand dollar balance, to a 2.6-year payoff. Okay. So if you know what a GPS does, right? If we follow the GPS and we don't make any detours or we don't make any wrong turns or we don't decide, hey, there's a nice restaurant 30 minutes off here and it'll get us there and get us back on track, we will get to our estimated time of arrival when it tells us to, providing there's no hiccups or anything like that, right? But if there is, if any of that happens, it recalculates everything and just tells you, okay, now here's your payoff time. So for my husband and I, 2.6 years, this was nearly 4 years ago. In fact, it'll be 4 years next month, and we are scheduled to be debt free. That mortgage is finally going to be paid off. April 23rd is our debt-free date. So we had a lot of hiccups. We had a lot of detours. We cash flowed a lot of different things, but that's the beauty of the system. It allows us to do that. It's going to ebb and flow with your choices. It doesn't bind you down to just, oh, we have to make all these sacrifices and we have to be super disciplined. No, it allows you to live your life. So still, we went from 11 years down to 4 to pay off our 120 some thousand dollar mortgage, and we still continued to live our life and did everything we wanted to do. We had vacations. I mean, everything. I mean, so I want to share that with you. And if you know me, I've been talking about this till I'm blue in the face, really, because that's just how I am. If there's something I think is going to benefit other people, I want them to know about it. By the way, look at my shirt. United Financial Freedom, because friends don't let friends stay in debt. I mean, that's what it's all about, guys. So I wanted to share with you a couple of clients because these clients have a pretty good contrast. One that has a lot of money left over every month, one that doesn't have so much money left over every month. So let me share my screen and we'll get down to it. We offer a complimentary analysis for everyone. Okay. So what do I mean by that? We do an overview of your debt, your income, your monthly expenses, what you have in the bank. We plug all that into the system and it calculates your specific debt-free date. It calculates how much interest it's going to save you. And it also calculates your specific one-time cost. Yes, there is a cost to the program. Nothing is for free, right? There is a cost to the program, but I promise you it is a fraction of what the system can save you in time and money. But you find all of that out at the end. You see your results, you see your cost, and you can decide, does it make sense for me to move forward or not? It costs you nothing to meet with me. Why wouldn't you want to find out? I mean, if there was a way, a legitimate way that you could pay everything off super fast and save a ton of interest in the meantime, why wouldn't you want to know more about that? I mean, why would you want to continue to follow the bank's plan, which is the most expensive plan, guys? They don't give us a break on anything, and I don't care how pretty of a bow they try to wrap it up in. Everything they do is for their bottom line. There's a reason they're wealthy. There's a reason they have the largest building in every city. They know how to make money and they make money using our money. So one of the things I love about our system is we've taken all those principles and strategies that the banks have used to their advantage forever and ever. And we've kind of turned it upside down. And we're like, you know what? We can use those same principles and strategies to the consumer's advantage. So our system is unlike anything you have ever seen. I promise you that. It blows any kind of debt elimination system out of the water. And trust me, we've done several of them in the past. This has no equal. No one has what we have or can do what we do. Our system's proprietary. There's nothing magical about it. It's just math. But here's a savings report of somebody that I just helped. And let me see if I don't know if I can make this any bigger. I don't think I can. Sorry about that. Nope, it's not letting me make it any bigger. But anyway, back at the end of February. So here's a summary of her debt. She has a mortgage for $433,000, three different loans for 87,000. And then she has 27 credit cards totaling $52,000. Now, we're a debt elimination system. We're a financial forecasting system, meaning never again do you have to make a financial decision without knowing the outcome of that decision first. So you can do any kind of what if scenario. What if we need to buy a car? What if we want to plan a vacation? What if we, whatever, fill in the blank, plug it into the system within a click of a button. It's going to show you the impact of that decision before you even have to make that decision. So do you not think that would help you make a better decision to have that, that crystal ball, if you will, which I don't believe in that, but that's the best analogy I can come up with, where you could see into the future and, excuse me, see the result of a decision that you've not even made yet. So that's huge. So, she said 27 credit cards. I'm like, how do you even manage those? How do you even keep track of that? Well, our system is an amazing cash flow management tool too. It gives you a month's overview of your budget every single month. It gives you actually several months in advance. It's not some spreadsheet that's static. Our system is interactive. It's in real time. It's like it's alive almost, and it's able to show you what's coming up in the future and help you prepare for those things that are coming up in the future. So let's look over here on her income. So she's got a really good income. She makes over 12 grand a month. Her debt payments are $7,400. And then her monthly expenses, well, what's that, Melinda? Well, aside from the debt payments, where does the rest of our money go every month? Well, we've got to pay the gas bill, the light bill, the phone bill, the cable bill, internet. We've got to buy groceries. We've got to put gas in the car. We have childcare expenses. We have gym memberships. We have tithing and charitable giving, and we have insurance premiums that we have to pay, and we like to go out to eat, and we have certain entertainment costs. I mean, we really try to do a forensic analysis of your monthly expenses so we can truly identify what is not getting used every month, what's truly left over. That's what we call your discretionary money. She has approximately $2,100. She's got good discretionary money. My average client, guys, probably $100 to $200 discretionary. I've got clients that have thousands of dollars of discretionary money, and then they have to tell me how much they want to allocate towards their debt. But she's got some pretty good discretionary. The other example I'm going to show you, not so much. But anyway, let's take a look. So basically, she's got to pay $3,200 just that month in interest alone. Okay. Interest, if you hear me on anything, guys, interest is the bank's profit. That's how they make their money. So it's not just part of our debt. It's something that we can choose to pay or not to pay. And it depends on how we manage our debt. If we put stuff on a credit card, the credit cards aren't evil. It's not their fault if we don't pay off that balance at the end of the month. It's when we carry over the balance that we begin to accrue interest and we have to pay that, right? But if we manage our money well and we use the credit cards really the smart way to do it is put it all on a credit card, pay it off at the end of the month. You get to use what we call interest float. You get to use other people's money, the bank's money for 30 days, leverage that money. You get rewards points if you're putting it on your favorite card. There's a lot of advantages to using credit cards. I wasn't taught that in my other debt elimination program. Credit cards were evil and you cut them up. Yeah, there's some benefit to that, but I'm just saying there's also some benefit to learning how the system works, and our system kind of does all that for you. So anyway, $3,200 in interest, poof, gone, light a match to it. That money's doing nothing for her. She's just giving that away to the bank. And it's telling her she has to spend $2.32 for every $1 of principal that she's able to pay off. Well, what's that? Well, that's basically her interest to principal ratio. She's got to give the bank $2.32 in interest to get to that $1 principal. So it's very out of balance there, right? That's where we help you save. That's where we help you save as much as 75% of that interest. Okay. So it says in May 2037, which is 12.3 years from now, she would have paid off only half of her debt following the bank's plan and would have still owed over $285,000. So let's take a look at the breakdown of what the Money Max account can do for her. So this is the bank's plan. This is the Money Max account and what we're saving you on the Money Max account. Her total debt, including interest, $892,000. She's paying the bank $318,000 on top of her 573 principal balance. That's what the bank was going to charge her. But look at the Money Max account. Instead of 318, using the Money Max account, she's only going to give the bank $75,000 in interest. Oh my gosh. Blow me away. And look at this. And I know you can't read it because it's small, so I'll read it to you. You would need an interest rate of 0.84% to pay this little in interest on a new 30-year loan. What does that mean? Well, first of all, we ain't ever going to find a 0.84% interest rate. We're not probably ever going to get back down to the twos and threes like we were several years ago. But it's not all about the interest rate, guys. Interest rate is going to determine the size of your payment. If you got a higher rate, you're going to have a higher monthly payment. You got a lower rate, you're going to have a lower monthly payment. But there's this little thing called interest volume or total interest percentage that the banks don't want you to know about. And that's how these large volumes of interest end up being paid back to the bank. You're not really paying 4.5% interest. That's not how much interest you're paying the bank. That is your interest rate. And the only way that will ever equal that is at the end of a 30-year mortgage. And who pays off a 30-year mortgage anymore? No one. People refinance, people sell and move and start a new 30-year mortgage. So because of that, the banks have done their homework and they front end load those loans the first 1 to 10 years. They want the majority of their profit up front. So you're paying super high interest, very little principal. That's how the banks stay in profit mode. So here at a 0.84%, that is the equivalent of that in the marketplace. That's what we call her net effective interest rate, meaning using our system, her mortgage, her loans, those 27 credit cards, many of which are over 30% interest rate, she's paying a net effective interest rate on all of that of 0.84%. So there's no need to refinance. Refinance is the bank's cash cow, guys. That's how mortgage lenders and banks, they make their money because they preach the refinance. Oh, buy the house at 7%, but when rates drop, you can refinance and maybe save a few $100s. Well, if you're 5 years into that loan before rates drop, and you're like, oh, well, we need to refinance because we can save money. No, we need to look at really what your numbers are, because look at all the interest that you've given the bank so far, and you want to refinance just because rates dropped, maybe save a few $100s on your payment, but you're going to go back to that 30-year, going to reset that 30-year clock and start paying all that interest all over again. No, that's how the banks stay in profit. So it's important to learn how this works, learn how money works, learn how loans are, all the different types of loans there are, learn how that not all interest is calculated the same. It makes a difference, and our system breaks it all down for you. So she's only going to give $75,000 instead of the 318. Let's look at their payoff time. According to the bank's plan, 30 years. Well, look here. Woo! 5.8. All of this debt, the mortgage, the 3 loans, the 27 credit cards, all gone in 5.8 years. Which would you rather pay? 30 years to the bank? 5.8 years. $318,000 in interest to the bank, or $75,000. And here's the cool thing. At the end of her debt-free time, 5.8 years, she could start paying herself instead of the bank and start accumulating wealth for her kids, for her kids' kids, whatever she wants to do with it. And this brings me to this amortization schedule. So you probably all seen one of these if you've been at the closing table recently, a breakdown of your 360 mortgage payments, your principal and interest. That's already pre-scheduled, predetermined. Well, this is an amortization and wealth schedule. So this shows you side-by-side comparison of what the bank is doing for you and what using the Money Max account is going to do for you. So let's look at today. Her principal balance, according to the bank, is $573,000. Her principal balance, according to the Money Max account, is $577,000. Well, why is it more? Because she had to buy the program. I told you that in the beginning. There's a cost to the program, but the system knows you have to pay for it. So it factors in your cost to your results. So this is her starting point. And this is a fraction of what it's going to save her. What does it come out to be? Like $3,900 was what her program cost. But look at what it's saving her. $3,000 a month. So her ROI is a little over a month, and she's done in 5.8 years. So let's look at year 4. According to the bank, she would still owe 435, but according to the Money Max account, she's down to 187,000. And then year 5, right before she's out of debt, look at the difference. Do you still want to owe the bank 403,000, or do you want to be down to this? And now she's debt free, all those dollars that were going, all those debt payments right here, $7,000 worth that was going towards her debt, she can now start paying herself. And this is a super conservative example of if you just literally put that money into a 1% savings account. This is the power of compound interest. And at the end of 30 years, when she would have just been finishing paying the bank, according to their plan, she could have over $3 million in the bank at 1% interest. We know she could do better than that, but that's just a simple, a super conservative example. So I'm telling you guys, it absolutely makes sense. Now, let me show you. She had some really good discretionary money. Let me show you an example of someone who doesn't have as much discretionary money, okay? So let's look at this. They've got a mortgage, 428,000, 3 loans totaling 152,000, and they have 13 credit cards, not as many as 27, but 13. This is their total debt amount, 607. Now let's look at their monthly income. They're at $8,900 for the month, roughly $4,000 less than the other person I showed you. But look at their amount of debt going out. A lot. Their debt to income ratio, really high, 71%. And then their monthly expenses, $2,300. They have $157 left over every month, guys. But that $157, it is what is going to get them to a 7.9-year payoff. And look at this. Are you ready to have your mind blown? They're saving $746,000. That's $7,860 a month in interest. Think about that for a second, how life-changing that is. Look at their interest to principal ratio. $9.39 she's got to give to the bank before they can even get to $1 of principal. Are you kidding me? That's like highway robbery. That's like legalized theft, and the banks get away with it every single day. And we just let them because we think it's just normal. It's just the way of life. I'm showing you it doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. All of their debt gone in 7.9 years, saving them $746,000. So here's my question. What are you waiting for, guys? Why in the world would you not want to find out what this can do for you? Do you want to just keep throwing your money away? I mean, you might as well go to the trash can and set your money on fire. That's what you're doing when you're paying interest to the bank. Do we have to pay interest when we're in debt? Well, yeah, but why would you want to pay more than you have to? Let me show you a way that you can save as much as 75% of that. So hit me up, shoot me a text, or give me a call, 317-797-3136. Go to my website, melinda.mymoneymax, M-A-X, account.com, melinda.mymoneymaxaccount.com. Schedule your complimentary analysis. My calendar's on there. You can do that. Cost you nothing to meet with me. Let's find out what this can do for you, and let's start changing your life. Let's start changing your life and the trajectory of your financial future, not just for you, but for whatever you want to leave for your kids or your grandkids, or however you want to leave your money, whatever your legacy is to be. Let's show you that there's a better way. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.